Welcome, everybody. I am Jason Wright.
And I am your neighborhood sis, Ash T.
Distinguished gentleman, Jamie Wright.
This your man that's going to always keep it real, Jarrell Wright.
Hey, this is Talisha. You can count on me to keep it real and keep it raw.
And we are the Our Blank Slate podcast crew. Welcome back, everybody. This is Our Blank Slate podcast. We are back with Mr. Jarrell Wright and Ms. Talisha Wilson, my two co-hosts today. Hey, so as always, we want to start out, some things over the weekend or in the past week, especially always starting out with sports. So we'll pass it over to, hold on. First and foremost, I know you want to talk about free agency and all that, but football in 4 weeks. Football in 4 weeks. The countdown has began. Football in 4 weeks. All right, that's all I got to say. Football in 4 weeks. Season starts, I think, September 9th on Wednesday. With the New England Patriots, and it's a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl being replayed September 9th. So again, football in 4 weeks. All right, that's all I got to say. I'll pass it over to Cool Red.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to football. Definitely, been doing there've been a lot of trades going on. Well, one that's been very memorable, very notable, was the not trades, but signings. Quentin Williams from the Dallas Cowboys. And what was kind of ironic about that was he still has some time left on his contract from the Jets. They got him when they traded my man to the Packers. So when they traded him to the Packers, they got Quentin Williams. And he still had 2 years left on that $96 million deal from the Jets. But I'm not mad at Dallas for wanting to go ahead and get him signed, because they waited. They realized the mistakes they made with Parkins, Michael Parkinson. And they realized that they didn't want to do that with Quentin. So they went on to sign him very hush-hush, 3-year deal, $105 million. $70 million guaranteed, wow, which was a good move on their part. So kudos to the Cowboys.
Good contract for him as well.
What you say?
So that's a great contract for him as well.
Oh,
2 years, $105 million.
Yeah, $105 million for 3 years, and now that's coming off a $96 million 4-year deal. So he did a $96 4-year deal. Now he's just doing a $105 million 3-year deal. So kudos to him, as well as kudos to the Cowboys, but not taking a chance and waiting and risk losing him like they did Michael Parkins. So I was just happy to see that, because I'm looking forward to the Cowboys doing big things this year, as well as I'm looking forward to my Colts. And I've been reading a little bit about my man Anthony Richardson for the Colts, the quarterback for the Colts, who they drafted 4th overall in 2023, and who really hasn't produced anything. And from what I understand, he's requested a trade. And then there's gotten no traction on that trade. And I'm like, a guy with such a promising career, to see it being basically fumbled is kind of disheartening. Because I followed him.
You was in that locker room with him too. If you was in that locker room when he said, "I'm tired," you would have gave up on him as well. I mean,
yes.
Young as you are, and that's what you the man on that team, you're the leader of that team, and that's what you got to say. Nah, as much as the firefighter he has that arm, I'd move away from him as well.
Yeah, so it's sad. I was hoping that they would get a franchise quarterback with Anthony Richardson, but I'm not sure what's going to take place with that. I do know I'm praying that Daniel Jones come back to being the Daniel Jones that he was last year, prior to him getting hurt. And I was happy to see another great signing, Jonathan Taylor, getting his money.
Oh, yeah.
I was happy to see that. The Colts was, first of all, they was playing around with him, and then he was requesting the trade. Then they finally woke up and said, hey, we got one of the most elite running backs in the NFL. Let's not risk losing him. So they signed him to $44 million for 2 years. So I was happy to see that as well. So there are some teams. My two teams are the Colts and the Cowboys.
I hate that he's a huge payday, though. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Taylor is one of the running backs that should have got a huge contract. You know, as much as he's done for the Colts, you know, he should have got a huge contract. But hold on, before you keep going.
But if you keep that,
I'm
but
not-
if you keep in mind, running backs will make he's making $22 million a year. You know, running backs don't really make that kind of money.
Right. But you know, I want to talk about the contracts I was going to say, but I just want to talk about Riley Leonard. I don't care about AR. Send Anthony Richardson back in. All right, he can be third string QB. Riley Leonard. All right, the Notre Dame quarterback that finished the season for the Colts last year, that had 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns at the end of the season. You know, 2 throwing, 3 throwing and 1 running. Did the same thing that he did in Notre Dame. Did it at the NFL level. All right, so I would love for him to be the quarterback until Daniel Jones come back, because Daniel Jones don't come back until the end of the year. Like, he don't get back until like week 12. You know,
You sure?
yeah.
I thought,
No, Daniel Jones is not coming back until like towards the end of the year. I thought they said week 12, but it could be like week 8. But he won't be there at the start of the season. So my thing is,
No.
I'm hoping Riley Leonard is the Colts quarterback for us, and I'm telling you, this young dude will give you everything that AR tried to give, but he'll do it with smart. He'll do it with his mind, and just like he did that last game of the season. I'm trying to tell you, Riley Leonard can be the Colts quarterback of the future if they give him the opportunity. And
I'm with you on that, but I don't want to give up on Anthony Richardson just yet, because that's the problem. They give up on these people so soon. Look what Cleveland did with Baker Mayfield. Gave up on him. Now he's the franchise quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, gave up on him too quick. And then look at Carolina almost gave up on Bryce Young.
They now almost did give up on Bryce.
Bench him for Andy Dalton. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
You know, and then they finally, I don't know if that was a wake-up call for him, but at the end of the day, they realized they have a franchise quarterback in Bryce Young. And they almost made a crucial mistake in messing that young man's future up. Because when you bench them like that, that messes up their confidence. Yeah. You know, so sometimes it takes a while for these players to develop. Because I know Cleveland wished they would have kept Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. So my producer is telling me we got to move on. You got anything you want on basketball before we move into our first topic?
I mean, again, with the basketball situation, I'm very excited about. I don't think no other trades have happened. I'm surprised that we got like DeRozan still a free agent. We got quite a few people that's decent players that are still free agents right now. And I don't know about Russell Westbrook. I know he's still trying to play, but DeRozan can still ball. So I'm surprised that he is still out there as an unrestricted free agent. So I'm hoping somebody pick him up. Hell, the Pacers could use him, you know, to bring that veteran leadership. I'm surprised the Spurs wouldn't pick him up, because that veteran leadership that he has, it would be ideal for that locker room.
Especially for that young team. Especially for that young team.
That'd be ideal. I mean, he would be ideal for the Spurs. And I would like to see either the Spurs get him, because he can still play, or the Pacers get him. He'll be a perfect fit for either one of those. And then I'm assuming that they're going to wrap up their investigation with Kawhi Leonard when they were trying to circumvent the system about that. So the Clippers were trying to be slick, and they were trying to pay a brand who he was supposed to be a spokesman for. They were circumventing their salary cap by paying them to pay him under the table, and they got caught with that. So so the Clippers were paying him the whole time, but they were trying to circumvent the salary cap. So they was like, well, we're gonna get the money to this brand here, and you're gonna be the brand ambassador for them, and then they're gonna pay you. But it was the Clippers paying him the whole time. So that's where we are with that. So they have paused his trade to Toronto until that investigation is over. So I'm assuming that the investigation is going to wrap up. I don't know what the findings are going to be, but most likely I'm assuming that Adam Silver will let the trade go ahead and go through, so he can go play with Toronto. And if he get on Toronto's team with them young guns they got there with Scotty Barnes and all them there, I think the Toronto Raptors are going to be a force to reckon with if Kawhi comes there and play. But he's been so injury prone. Who knows what he's going to do?
Right. That's why I don't understand why I don't hear nobody talking about him, but I just thought I'd throw that in there, man.
Yeah.
All right. So we can move on. Right now, we'll go to our first topic. And this one hit me. I don't know. I was watching some other podcasts the other day, and they were talking about playing hard to get. So, with Talisha, on the panel, I said, man, you know what? This would be a good conversation to have with Miss Wilson. So, the topic for today, or the first topic of the day right now, is why would playing hard to get not work in 2026? And I'm gonna start that off with you, T. What do you think? Why would playing hard to get not work in 2026?
Playing hard to get in 2026 is not an option. You will get your ass left behind because there are way too many options for everybody these days. Men can have any woman they want because there's a shortage. So most women are sharing whether they like it or know it. And women these days, we don't have to accept the same things and think that we're holding out and this man is going to wait and chase us, because that man has many options and there's lots of women that aren't going to hold him to a standard. So why would he work harder when he can work less and still get what he wants?
Exactly.
In my single and dating experience. Now, that's not saying you should still have your standards and you can still hold out for what is acceptable for you, but don't think that man is going to keep chasing you for it when he can still be doing what he wants on the side, because there's plenty of women that aren't going to make him work for it.
Right.
So hold your standards, ladies, but thinking you're playing hard to get, oh no, he's definitely smashing 2 or 3 others.
Because my thing is, that everything is at the touch. Everything is at the touch of your fingertips right now. I mean,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, when now men may be able to play hard to get a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got things going on for yourself right now.
Not with a grown woman, you can't.
I agree. I'm just throwing it out there. But some, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure some men can play that game. But with everything so easy at your fingertips, I mean, you got Tinder, you got all these other little apps, you know what I'm saying? To whereas all you got to do is go on, show your picture, say a few things, and bam.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting whatever you want. All right?
Everything. And I mean everything.
It's Burger King. You're getting it your way. All right?
Have it your way. You want extra what? And some sauce on the side? Gotcha.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So why would you wait? Why would you wait for someone that, especially now, if the lady is I don't know, it made no sense, just enticing you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're enticed, sometimes curiosity will hold a man's attention. Believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, first you had me interested. Now you got my attention. You know what I'm saying? So there are certain things from a curiosity standpoint that men will wait for. All right, but if you don't give us something to be curious about, if you don't give us something to actually, to stay engaged with, I think your time is very, very limited. You know what I'm saying? So from a female standpoint, especially to your point, there is a shortage of men out here. And if you're playing hard to get, someone's playing it easy.
Ladies, that does not mean accept less than what you were looking for. Let him go be with all the low-hanging fruit and you stay on the top shelf until the right one is ready to really pay the price for what it takes to have you in his life. Don't sell yourself short. And there's nothing wrong with you playing the same long game that he is playing. He might pursue you and he might do the things, but please believe he's still doing what he wants on the side, as you should too.
See, I don't condone that shit. I don't condone that.
You don't. I bet you don't.
I don't condone that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah. You know what? If don't play hard to get. If you want somebody, tell them. Be intentional. You know, so that's my whole thing.
I'm like Drake. I'm gonna need you to say something, baby. You need to say something to me, or to a man. My thing is with that is a woman playing hard to get. Like you said, if you know your worth, I'm not saying make it easy for the guy, but I'm not saying make it hard for the guy either. If you see something that you like, then you go for it too. In this day and age, a woman can holler at a man as well, And with that being stated is, A lot of women that sit there and they'll go out talking about, well, I'm from the South. I ain't never approached a man. Well, you'll sit there and you'll go to wherever you went by yourself, and you will leave by yourself, because there are women out there that are approaching men. So if I got a woman, approaching me, and she's attractive, and then you're attractive, and you're sitting over there, all bougie and like you two, perfect and scared to speak, which one you think the person's going to go to? It's going to go to the one that's showing him. People are going to go to you. You invest in those who invest in you. So if you're not investing in me and someone else is, who do you think I'm going to go to? Or who do you think that man's going to go to? He's going to go to that person that is investing in him. So, and why would, just like you, why would he not? Why would he? Nah, sweetheart, I'm seeing this one over here that I like. But she ain't showing me no love, no interest at all. But yet you're showing me all the vibes and all the attention that I want. So you think I'm going to leave that? Or the guy's going to leave that to go over to you, who's being bougie, ain't saying nothing. And then, oh, you going to buy me a drink? Like, a man got to buy you a drink to talk to you. That right there kills me. If a person want to come over and have a conversation with you, are you going to buy me a drink? Or were you drinking when I came up here?
Hey, hold on, Real. The single lady on the call right now. Hey, that's right. I keep hearing her. If you keep seeing, I keep seeing her faces on here, and I'm like, I hear what you're saying, and my thing is I'm listening. I'm looking at Talisha talk. I mean, Talisha's responses or facial expressions, and my thing is, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying on a lot of that, but you know what I'm saying when we talk to a single lady. Now, T, I'm about to pass the floor to you.
Well, you are not totally wrong, but you're wrong as hell.
I don't think he's wrong as hell. Only wrong as hell.
Okay.
It ain't not one male walking this earth that will tell you that Talisha walked up to him in a club, a bar, a restaurant, anywhere, and I approached him. That's just not how we do things. I'm a lady. If you are interested,
I agree with that.
Show it. I feel like when the woman is the one who approaches a man, that screams desperation. And do you really want somebody desperate like that? That's the bitch that's gonna cause y'all problems. That's y'all's problem. Y'all don't realize it.
But see, I don't believe that though. I don't believe that though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, women have just as much opportunity to come introduce themselves, talk to a person.
I understand men want to feel like the prize. You want to feel appreciated. You want to feel wanted. But the first introduction is not the time to do that. I'm not saying you have to buy me a drink, because again, I've said this previously. I send drinks. You looking good, y'all looking like y'all having a good time. I might send a specific one a drink. I think there was one time in my life I sent around just because the Kappas was fine as hell. They was fine. It was scrumptious. They was good. So me and my girls, we sent around the drinks to the table. And in turn, we got around the drinks and, a nice little time out on the city. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm not approaching that man because I still firmly believe that I'm the prize. And if you don't believe that, we're just not a match. And that's cool. I'm okay with that, because I want the man that sees me and goes, that's her. That's her. I don't want to have to approach you. Once we engage, I can show you that, yes, I'm interested. And if I'm interested, you will know right off the top, because the girl has her ways. But I don't think that I've ever approached any man that I can ever recall in any situation. I might reciprocate once he makes his intentions known, but I'm not walking up to you in the club and be like, ooh, you fine and you look good and let me get you this.
No one said
y'all want to be the baddest bitches in the club these days, and I hate that for our generation now. I don't know what in the world has happened where y'all think that it's your job to approach you or to call you first or to reciprocate. I'm not saying that we should definitely reciprocate.
No one said that at all. No one said that the woman got to come holler at the man. Well, what I'm saying is, men by nature are hunters. We are used to approaching. We are hunters by nature. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. But what happens is, let's say there's women that are hunters as well. What I mean by that does not scream desperation. What it screams is, hey, I see something that I want and I go for it.
And I go get it.
I'm going to sit there and wait for someone to come to me. I'm going to go get it. And then if If that person goes and get what they want, he may have been looking at you, but then it didn't even see this young lady, but she looking at him and like, I like him, so let me go holler at him. And then so she goes holler at him, and then that diverts his attention to her. And now he's talking to her and never made it to you because this person monopolized his whole evening and then his thought process. He's like, you know what? She cool. I like her. I didn't even see her sitting over there. But she saw me. So then she
I
came.
am one, if I see something that I like, I'm not approaching you, but I'm going to make you want it. I'm going to make you approach me. And it usually works. I've never met one that I wanted and never got. That's never happened. I might throw a look, I might turn your way, I might brush past you, but to me, that's not me approaching you and running up on you. No, you're supposed to approach me, but I'm definitely going to make you
got
want
a
to
type.
approach me.
You got a type that you know that you like, and you're gonna give that little look, you're gonna give that whatever to that type. You know what I'm saying? And that type likes you. All right, because I'm telling you, man, a man has a smorgasbord of options. You know what I'm saying? Because hold on. There's only a percentage of men that has that smorgasbord of options. All right, because there are a lot of. Anyway, I ain't gonna go down that route. All I'm gonna say is men have more.
Picking up what you're putting down.
Men has more options. All right, just because again, you know what I'm saying, we outnumbered. All right, but at the same time, I'm not telling any lady. I swear to God, because you know what I'm saying, I have 3 daughters. You know what I'm not telling any lady to lower their standards. All I'm saying is go after for what you want. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got that song, that Drake and what's called came out, where girls can't say blah blah blah. No, I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Girls can say what they want, when they want it, and how they want it.
Absolutely.
But so I mean, there ain't no but to that. Don't, you know what I'm saying, keep your standards, make sure your standards are high. But if you want something, go get it. All right. Us men, we like intentional people. Just like I'm sure women like a man that's intentional, that wants her and wants to go after her and show her that he wants her. Men like the same thing. All right, and especially if you got a good dude, you got a guy that you see that you want, and you playing hard to get you. Hold on. I'm gonna do the Talisha shit. You giving him all your looks and all your turns and all that. But to Jarrell's point, man, shorty just as bad as you, right next to you. Hey, she looking, you know what I'm saying? And she comes up and say hello. She don't, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And of course, first thing he gonna say is can he buy her a drink and blah, blah, blah. And then they're gonna have that conversation. But she saw something that she wanted, and she was intentional about going up and making that happen. All right. That person is gonna be a lot more happy than the person that just gives that look and thinks she all that. And then go back home with her girlfriend.
I gotta think y'all that like she ain't carrying herself with an attitude. She's a lady. She's not going to approach that man. If he's interested, he can approach me. And if he wants what's easy because she happened to walk up to him, go have it.
How's that easy? That's not easy.
That is easy. You didn't have to do any work. She approached you. All you have to do is entertain if she's pretty enough.
Now, my thing is
that temporary fix, though.
Even if a woman approaches a man, that man still got to put in work, because she may just be physically attracted to him, but he can say one word and just make himself look ugly. Yeah. So he still got to be on his game. You know, he still got to talk intelligently. He still got to be articulate. He still got to be able to be a man and be able to carry a conversation. Because she can be like, man, I did the hard part. I didn't broke the ice. Now, what are you going to do from there? So as a man, you got to be able to conduct the conversation, ask the right questions, stimulate her mentally, just like she stimulates you. And then once y'all get to talking for a few minutes, then as a man, you're like, so what are you drinking? But I'm not going to walk over to you just so I can talk to you and buy you a drink. After we've been talking for a while, I'm liking your conversation, she liking my conversation, then I would approach you, hey, what would you like to drink? But I'm not going to say, hey, what you drinking? And as soon as you get the drink, thank you. And then they go. That's crazy.
Men have a problem thinking that the woman is out just to get free drinks. What y'all think is extravagant, me and my sisters and my girlfriends do at brunch. We got a $300 drink and food order at brunch. That's not special to people who do that every day.
No one
I
said it.
appreciate the
that.
effort it takes to approach a woman, period, because I know that has to be intimidating, because I know how I would feel if it was on the women to approach the guys, which is why I don't. So I'm always at least polite about it, but I'm also not expecting every man who thinks I'm cute to send me a drink or have to buy me a drink to come over and say hello. That's not the case though. And it seems like, Real, you stuck on, well, women expect you to spend money to be able to say hi to them. That's not the case though.
Well, see, it depends on where you at. It depends on where you at. And the reason why I say that is out here in the East, on the East Coast, out here on the East, it's a lot of fronting going on. A lot of fronting going on out here. So I've been told. I don't know, but so I've been told. I listen to people and they say there's a lot of fronting going on. People trying to act like they ballers, shot callers, whatever the case may be, and that's what they do. So, for one thing, I'm a say in the African American community, because I've witnessed this firsthand. I see white people. I see a white guy. A white guy can have on some sweatpants and some thong flip-flops with a V-neck T-shirt and go pull one of the baddest white girls in the spot, just off of his conversation and his personality. Let a brother do that to a sister. The first thing, this dude got on flip-flops. This dude got on some sweatpants. It's all about appearance and it's all about perception with black people. White people, it's not. They just go off of personality. I mean, them dudes, they will throw on a plaid shirt with some ripped jeans and a baseball cap and go walk up to the baddest white girl in the spot and pull them. But with us, black girls are looking at what the guy got on. Girl, you see his shoes, and so that becomes a obstacle right there. And that's just real talk. Like I see Pop the Balloon. They will pop the balloon for the most weirdest thing. Have y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Why did you put them shoestrings in them shoes? I'm like, the brother talking smart, articulate, got a good job, and he's feeling this shorty. She's single, he's single, he ain't got no kids, whatever. She popped the balloon because she didn't like the shoestrings in the shoes. What?
Well, let's pause, because I think that this isn't what white girls choose white boys versus black women judging black men, because let's start with the fact that they don't use washcloths or bathe from the waist down. Let's start there. So the standards are different.
Hey, these are
And
not comments
also,
of everybody on the
they're
show.
judging
Okay?
you.
Everybody.
They're judging based off of, from my experience, and I have a vast friend group, is he might be wearing them joggers, but they $1,100 sweatpants. Trust me, they're tallying everything. In the black community, it's just more about name brand, but in their case, it's the quiet wealth, and they are tallying from head to toe. I've had this conversation with my girlfriends in an age range and diverse backgrounds. Everybody's doing it the same, just culturally, it's just little different innuendos. I do judge men on how they carry themselves, just like women get judged on how they carry themselves. How are you dressed? Is it appropriate? Is it skin tight? Are you showing, top and bottom at the same time? Are you wearing the loud ghetto colors? What do your nails look like? How are you carrying yourself? How do you speak? Women get judged the same way that men do. Don't be mistaken. And for women getting judged, it's a lot more shallow, because it is definitely, men are very, what you see is what you get, before they even want to know what your personality is like. And sometimes they don't care. As long as it's pretty and you an easy hit, they're going for it. The low hanging fruit. Am I wrong there?
That's for a hit it, quit it, type of thing. If you actually out there looking for something, I don't think men is looking for that easy thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I'm saying? I sit and talk to a lot of cats, and I don't hear them say, "Man, I want that easy thing," or "I want that blah blah blah." You know what I'm saying? They do want someone with.
Well, what y'all say versus what you actually do and what we see is totally different.
Well, you can't say that. The men can say that about women as well. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what, I only want to go down that route. My only thing is, men can say that about women as well. But we have the guys I talk to. I'm telling you this now. They want women, with morals, standards, that with goals, aspirations, and somebody with some determination that's actually gonna go out there and get it. All right. You know what I'm saying? Not somebody that's going to talk about it the whole time. Somebody's going to actually go out there and get it. All right. So when you do what you have been describing is that Saturday night, that Friday night, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to take this down. You know what I'm saying? That's not actually looking for somebody to actually have a relationship with. You looking for somebody for the night. You know what I'm saying? Not looking for Mrs. Right. That's what you're talking about. And I understand that, but I don't believe most of the men out there are only looking for Miss Tonight and not Mrs. Right.
But what we see is most men pursuing Miss Tonight, not Miss Right. That's the confusion. What we see is most men online lusting over Miss Tonight. So we don't know that you guys are looking for Mrs. Right, because I told you that was episodes ago when I made the comment, hoping women.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna have this conversation tonight because I'm like, because a man like a picture, he lusting over a woman because he like a picture, even if he put an emoji.
It's not just a like. It's the types of comments that go under it. That the women like me, we judge and go, oh, that's his type. We don't know that you're looking for forever, because what we see is y'all like lusting after the IG hoes.
Funny thing about it is that you looking at that man's likes. You know what I'm saying? Going through his likes to see that, and then again.
No, let me tell you how the algorithm works. We're not looking for it. Pops up on our For You page, and then the one that you with, his name is the one that you see highlighted, liked or loved this picture, or his comment is the one comment out of 350 that shows up under the picture. That we're not looking for it. That's literally what the algorithm goes. Helping he is not the one. Look what he just liked. Look what he's loving. Look at this comment he put under this whole picture. It pops up. We don't have to go looking for it.
Well, first of all, we all know, women know that men are visual creatures. That's why y'all post the pictures that y'all pick. That's why y'all post.
We do.
That's why y'all do it. So y'all know we are, and y'all know that, and so y'all predicate to that. So then when we
so
sit
it's
there,
our fault.
No, what I'm saying is, so then when we sit there and a man comment on the picture, he like, now if you got a girl, it's a beautiful girl, and she's sitting there in a thong bikini, you know.
She knows what she's doing, yes.
You know exactly. We call those thirst traps, you know, and they trap.
And they are.
And they are.
It's intentional.
Exactly. So then when a guy comments on it, see, he wants somebody easy. Just because she in a thong bikini don't mean she's
it's not just a like or a love or a you doing that, sis. It's the tongue emojis, the inboxes that come with that, the graphic comments.
Creepy dudes, though. Them creepy dudes.
You're gonna have, and you gotta be prepared for those. If you sitting there damn near naked on a picture, you gotta be prepared for all comments that come your way. You gotta be prepared.
What I'm saying is, if you're the one making those type of comments, is what I'm referring to. You can't tell me, no, I'm looking for Mrs. Right and Mrs. Long Term when are you though?
I agree with that.
I agree with that. And everybody, no matter what they look like. And now this is funny. A dude can be looking like Biggie, can look like Biggie Smalls, but he gonna still want a beautiful woman on his arm, you know. And just like a woman, she can look like Rofusia from Norbit, and she gonna still want a nice looking man on her arm. So everybody wants someone that someone else wants. Everybody does, you know. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to, if you see something that you want, whether man or woman, you should go for it. That's for a person, that's a job, that's anything. You know, and we're taught to, hey, go for that. Not just sit back and wait for someone to give it to you, or wait for someone to take notice of you. Because someone may not have saw you, but you might be that ideal woman that he's looking for. He may not see you in the crowd. But if you could say, hey, how you doing? You know, you enjoying yourself this evening? And then let him take it from there. That ain't being desperate. How's that being desperate?
That's not extreme. I agree with that.
And he's not thinking that this woman is desperate or she's so into me.
No, he's thinking that she's cordial, she's nice.
No, that's general conversation. I would agree with that. In my head, I was thinking the coming on like the guys do, coming on strong. And you know how y'all do when you slide in and put that arm in front of her, block her off her view from everybody else. That thing right there that you just did when you hit that low voice, you do the Yeah.
I mean, but you know, man, but I do that
You
all the
can't
time
even help
anyway.
it. You started thinking about it and started doing it.
Nah, you know, I do that shit anyway. My thing
We
is,
know that's the problem.
I
Hilarious.
don't even have to be. Hell, I'm looking at myself doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, so
That is true. That is always who you've been. That
yeah,
is
you know
true.
what I'm saying? That's
Let
just
me give
me.
you some grace there. You've always done this, and I've always given you hell for it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's hilarious.
But my thing though is like, I just feel like Jarrell said it the best. You know what I'm saying? Because producer saying we got to move to the next topic, so we kind of ended it that way of, if you want something, go after it. All right, and that's a guy, girl, job, anything. Go after it. Don't sit back on your laurels and want it to come to you. All right, that's really what, why I even asked the question. And Talisha gave me all type of reasons why of some bullshit. So I'm telling you now, don't sit on your laurels. If you want something, ladies or gentlemen, all right, if you want something, go after it. Go get it. All right, be intentional. All right, let that lady know that she is what you want, and that you are willing to do what it takes to get her hand. All right, my thing is, and I'm talking to the men. All right, ladies, y'all can listen to Felicia all y'all want. All right, and then be home.
Keep your
go home,
standards and don't believe him.
All I'm saying is, man, if you want it, go and get it. All right.
That's it. Yeah, if you want it, go get it. Man or woman.
All right. We're gonna bookend that one. All right. I ain't gonna let Talisha mess up your head no more. All right, but hey, if you got
Corner need to be saved at all costs. What happened?
you got yeah, I know. hey, this is what you're saying on this topic right now.
Right.
And so
Right.
my thing is ladies, gentlemen, hey, if you have an opinion on this topic, man, make sure you're in the comments. Let us know what you think. But hey, for me, it is, if you want it, be intentional and go get it. All right.
Just move on.
We're gonna book in that one. We're gonna book in that one because now I got to take away from one of the other topics. So come on. We're gonna go ahead to the second topic. And ladies and gentlemen, the second topic right here. Talisha had hit me with this a long time ago, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put this topic out today. All right. So, and you know what I'm saying? I hate to start with you again, Talisha, but
I don't know. See,
this topic right here, it is women dating with daddy issues and why it's important to have a father figure in that girl's life. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna pass it over to T. But you put the spectacles on for this one.
I have to put my glasses on because I have a doctorate in daddy issues. Let me tell you why dating with daddy issues is an issue for both guys and girls. Because ladies, we're not the only ones who have daddy issues. Men, also a lot of men with mommy issues too, which is why we get treated bad. My father left when I was super young. And it's not saying I didn't have father figures. I grew up with some uncles, and my uncles was in the streets for a long time. They full grown now, recovered, but they was in the streets. But I grew up with a lack of boundaries was one major one because I didn't have a man showing me how a woman should be treated. And the guys in my family weren't always the nicest to women. Now, they are great people. But was they in the streets and doing their thing? Absolutely. And is that how I grew up with my first impression of love? Was that you have this main chick and then there's multiple people on the side? Yes, that was my vision of what a relationship is. I lacked self-identity because I didn't have that picture or anyone reinforcing what you should be and what a lady is. My mom had 6 kids and worked 2 jobs, and one of the jobs was a swing shift. So she did the best that she could, but lack of having a father in the household, I see the difference that it has made as an adult looking back. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't have a good idea of self, of what a man should do and provide. And I accepted breadcrumbs and bare minimum for a long time and chased after this feeling of being accepted and wanted and valued because I didn't have that. I wasn't raised with that value from a father figure. So it makes a huge difference. And those are still issues that I battle to this day of not trying to be this whole masculine entity that guys have a thing. All the women these days are masculine. It's because we have to be, because y'all are trash a lot of the time, and we have to pick up the slack and be that firm, sturdy person in our own lives and for our kids that a lot of us raised by ourselves. My kids had an amazing stepfather. No matter what me and him went through, if I were to tell my daughters to call their dad to this day, they are calling my ex-husband more than likely, as opposed to their father, especially one of my kids. So I can't say that all men aren't bad, but I promise I have owned through lots of rounds of therapy that my first heartbreak, I know, was my father not being there. And looking back now, feelings of rejection. Of course, you don't know all this growing up until you get grown, but it still shows in my relationships to this day. I went through a period where I wanted to be with someone so bad that I accepted things that I absolutely would not, as a healed version of me today, accept. It makes a huge difference. And I implore anyone with daughters, please don't be your baby's first heartbreak, because that is a lasting condition that she will live with for the rest of her life. It makes a huge difference. It affects not only her life, but her children's lives, because there were things that she didn't understand. And even if she were to find her way to a happy relationship, and I have sisters and family members that have, they still have to battle with boundaries and knowing it's okay to let your husband do this and be this type of father, because she didn't have any idea of what that father figure did for both the sons and the daughters. Though men grow up in single parent households and end up with mommy issues because the father wasn't there, and the mother either makes them the head of the household and now he's responsible for things that a child should not have to take on, having, being the male in their mother's life and growing up, or they become this mama's boy, the version where he can't do anything without referring back to his mom, or he's resenting his mom for having to work so hard to provide a life. So she's not there. Now he's mistreating the women because he's got mommy issues because she was a single parent and wasn't there for him. It can cause a lot of problems in a lot of different ways. So if you have kids, especially daughters, but sons, this is very important too, because they're going to be somebody's father one day. Be present and be the best version of yourself as you can. There's no perfect parenting, but baby, when I tell you a lot of my relationship issues and issues I had with my own identity growing up were because of parenting issues and not having a father there. And it took me 40 years to figure that was the missing piece in the puzzle.
Okay. Well, I can certainly understand where you're coming from and your point of view on that. And I can see why it's essential to have a male figure, preferably a father figure, in a woman's life, because that is the first example on how a man is supposed to treat a woman. And a lot of times, and you have a two-parent household, that son, as well as that daughter, is looking at how that father is treating their mother.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's treating her very well, treating her with chivalry, treating her as a gentleman should, treating her as the love of his life, that male will grow up to learn how to treat women. And then the woman will grow up to know how she's supposed to be treated. So it's very important. Like growing up, we were fortunate to grow up in a two-parent household. And it would never fail. I'm 4 or 5 years old. My father, get the door for your mother. Get the door for your mother. So I'm thinking to myself, why she can't get her own door? Get the door for your mother. Get the door for you. I'm 5 years old, trying to open the door twice as big as me. But what he was teaching me was how to be chivalrous, teaching me how to make sure I know how to treat a woman. Also, he was teaching me, like, whenever we pull up to a gas station, my mother better not have ever got out to pump gas, as we as boys sitting in the car. It would be a problem if he saw that. So taught us, hey, you get out and you pump the gas. You get out and you do this. He always would say, get out my woman's ear. I'm like, well, that's my mom. No, that's my woman. You get out of her ear. And he would always show us how a woman is supposed to be treated. So that was his queen, and he treated her as such, and we got to witness that. So when we got older, we knew that when we got to talk to young ladies, we go pick a young lady up, we're getting the door for her. We knew that when we go pick a young lady up, we're going to do certain things because that's how we were taught. And whether she was taught that or not, she now gets to see, well, man, this is what a real man's supposed to do, when I'm dating someone. So it differentiates that man from the herd of the other men, because some men wasn't, and to some men's credit, they just don't know how to treat a woman because they were never taught.
They were never
True.
taught.
They were never taught. Or they were taught to be abusive because their father was abusive to their mother or whoever. So there's a lot of different things there. And that's why it's important to get to know someone before you jump into a relationship with that person. It's important to know what their values are. It's important to know what their love languages are. These things are important because it allows you to be able to see the environment that that person was raised in. It's going to reflect them, how they actually, their outcome of who that person's going to be. So a lot of times when a woman doesn't have a father figure in their life, they don't know how a man is supposed to treat them. So they're looking for that validation, whether it's negative or whether it's positive. But this man is at least showing me something, whether he's hitting me because he.
And that's the thing is,
some women equate physical violence as love.
yeah.
When my father used to beat my mother, because she would get smart, but he loved her. He would always apologize. That's what they knew.
It also prevents your daughter from falling for one thing that I had a problem with in my early 20s and even teenage years was the love bombing that sometimes men don't even realize they're doing. But she falls for the love bombing because now she's feeling so special. She feels seen, she feels heard, but that's a temporary, let me reel her back in type thing. But when you have a father who has set a standard of what it feels like to be provided for, to be, not just provisions, but protection, to be told that you're loved, that you're pretty on a daily. He has set a standard. When a guy is love bombing you, that's just a baseline because my daddy did this, or someone in my life has taught me this already. So you're not going above and beyond. What are you doing different? It keeps her at an early, very pliable age from falling for a lot of the things that young women fall for when they just don't know any different.
Ladies that they didn't grow up with a father, a lot of times, I'm saying, you had talked about it earlier, boundaries, I'm saying, but I'm gonna say standards, I'm saying? And I do daddy-daughter dates, with all my daughters, I'm saying, my three daughters, and set a standard so much that Jarrell talked about how daddy made sure that we were chivalrous, that we stayed gentlemen, and I had a daughter, we go on a daddy-daughter dates, and I always open the door, I'm saying? So my thing is I pull up to the restaurant, I get out the car, go open her door, I'm saying? And as we go into the restaurant, of course, I'm opening the door to the restaurant, I'm pulling out the seat. One time, we get out of the restaurant, it's pouring down raining. I'm running to the car. Well, we're running to the car. I think I shared this before, but we're running to the car. I'm running and get in the car because it's raining. I ain't going to get my hair wet. You know what I'm saying? I said that to be funny, but it was for real, laughing, but very serious. But I look over. She is sitting in front of the door in the rain, waiting for me to open the door. Because I set
a standard.
Because I set that standard. You know what I'm saying? And that made me so proud, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to say I was mad. I was like, damn, I gotta get back here, get my hair wet again. But yeah, I was proud, because I set a standard, and she will continue to live by that standard. And those without fathers, that grew up without fathers, they actually search for that love. You know what I'm saying? So to your point earlier, I was a little like, man, everything I had on my paper, they actually search for that love. And then when they get that love, man, they don't want to let it go. So they accept things that they should not accept, because this is the love that I've been looking for.
And a lot of the times they don't even realize that they have been lacking or looking for it, especially if they had a mother who did the best that she could. Exactly. But then when you feel that feeling, you go, oh, wait a minute, what is this? And it's new and it's fresh and it's exciting. I was a single mom. My kids have a father and they have an amazing stepfather, but their dad wasn't as involved once he and I weren't a thing. I bought my daughters their first diamonds. I took my daughters to the nice dinners with the linen tablecloths. My daughters had limo rides. We took the trips. We did the things because I didn't want somebody's nappy-headed son to be able to impress them when he did it with them for the first time, because they don't have a dad to take them to do the daddy-daughter dates. So we did mommy-daughter dates and that type of thing. But there are things that I, as a mother, as bad as I would love to, cannot show my daughter that a father would be able to mold and train and set standards for. I fully acknowledge that. I did the best I could with what I had, but I could never play that father role for them. I could only make sure they had some strong male presence in their life of some sort. But without that, and until my second husband came into their life, they didn't have those standards where he opened doors for them. And when someone was interested, my daughter was a senior in high school before she brought anybody home, because she knew that her stepdaddy was not playing that. He better be about his business and don't bring just anybody home to meet me. And then it makes my heart smile to this day. My youngest baby has celebrated her 6-year anniversary. And to this day, he still gets out and opens doors for her. She's not touched a door handle to anything the entire time that they have been together.
She should.
I still catch him. I joke with him all the time, but he still, whenever he's talking, it's my wife this and my wife that. And I go, that's my daughter. I birthed her. I understand that that's your wife, but that's my baby. And he goes, I just love her so much. I still joke with him because I catch him looking at her like she don't belong to him. And I'm like, y'all nasty and that's my baby and I don't want to see it. Stop staring at her like that. He goes, I just can't help it. Look what you did. And he's a good Southern gentleman. It just makes my heart smile to see that she's found someone to fill that role, not having had that growing up for a long time. It just makes me smile. It makes me so happy that she found that. And he's so good to her.
That's what's up. Nah, man, you see it all the time that, a lot of them do not understand how to love or how to feel that love. To your point. And, I just think it's imperative. And we talk about a lot of the masculinity and femininity and all of that. So what is that in 2026? I don't want to say it's a shame. I would just say it is a concern when young ladies do not grow up with a father in the household. Because they're going to deal with a lot of things that they won't be equipped for. And I think I'm gonna use that word, equipped for. In the world. Especially dealing with men. My daughters used to, they be with their little boyfriends, when they young, they were like, Daddy, he said this. They text me and be like, Daddy, he said this. And I'd be like, he lying, asking this. You know what I'm saying? Just to, because my thing is, I had that relationship. I had that relationship with my daughters so that if there's anything a dude tells you, I used to play with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is that anything a guy tells you, I want you to let me know so that we make sure that he ain't leading you astray. He ain't lying to you, and you can ask him questions to actually validate what he is saying. All right, but I really spent that time, and with all of them, just to make sure that, well, for one, they all felt love. 2, they knew how to love, and then 3, make sure you always have standards. Set those standards and live by those standards. And don't never let anybody push those standards away. And thank God, as of right now, none of them has overstepped those standards. Hey, so before we go to our last topic, is there anything else you guys would say on this topic?
Dads, be present. No matter what the relationship is with the mother of your child, do not forfeit your relationship with that child, whether it be a son or a daughter. You have to be able to train them how to be a good person. And I think a lot of the values that are lacking in these generations with us, and especially younger, these broken households that are caused for so many other reasons. That's a whole, that we could do 2 or 3 shows on that. We are producing these families and these kids and these generations that don't have standards and boundaries. Like, I feel like my daughters have created boundaries and know themselves a lot sooner than I was able to create them for myself. And I thank my village for that. But these broken homes are making a difference in how we are raising our kids. No matter the relationship with the mother or the father of your child, if this is a good person, let them be an active parent. Let them set the boundaries and set the standards for your kids as to what they will accept. And don't procreate with someone you don't want to be able to mold your child. Be very careful about who you are laying with, because you never know when that baby is going to come up.
That's right.
But be sure that you yourself have these standards and you're not accepting less than. So you're not then put in a position that you have to raise someone with less than they deserve.
Nah, very well put. All right.
Very well.
I'm gonna book in like that. Let's roll. You got anything to add?
Real quick, I won't belabor the situation, but when it comes to women, just know exactly what you're wanting. And then there's instances where you may not have a father in the house, but you may have a brother, you may have an uncle, you may have a cousin, and they can also talk to you about how you are supposed to be treated, and hopefully they know how, to treat, someone. Because 9 times out of 10, if you didn't have a father and your brother didn't have a father, he may not even know how to treat a woman. So he's learning just like you are learning. So be present, like you said, be cognizant of who you are talking with, as well as rule of thumb with guys. If you know that you wouldn't want a man treating your mom like that, then why would you treat somebody's daughter like that? So even if you didn't have a dad, every guy would want to protect their mom. Every guy, for the most part. And you know that your mom is really your first love, because she's nurturing, she's there, to lick your wounds when you're down. Dad's sometimes like, boy, ain't nothing wrong with you, get on up, So you are, so all boys love their moms. So if you know that you wouldn't want your mom being treated like that, then use that as a rule of thumb, how to treat a woman, even if you didn't have a father figure, in your life. And then women, don't settle. Don't settle for less. But I mean by that, if a person is talking down to you, or if a person is trying to belittle you, try to play on your insecurities or whatever, it ain't gonna get better with time. Right. So if he's doing that at the beginning, why would you think that he's gonna get better as he get to know you more? No, it's gonna get worse.
Change.
Nothing's gonna change. So again, know what your self-worth is and know how you deserve to be treated. Not how you should be treated, but how you deserve to be treated, and take nothing less. I don't care how handsome he is or how smooth he talks. If it's a snake, it's a snake.
Yeah, hey, I think you said it the best. I think that hey, we could bookend it right then and there. And I'll just reiterate what Talisha said. Men, be in your kids' lives. All right, that's girl or boys. Be in your kids' lives. All right, and to that lady, make sure if that man is willing, make sure you allow him. All right. So I gotta say on that, I bookend that one. If you have comments, questions, concerns, whatever, hey, please put them in the comments. All right. That I think that subject that we could probably talk a whole another 2 hours later, what I'm saying, about that. But if you guys make sure you put that in the comment section. All right. And lastly, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our last topic of the day. What I'm saying? We do have to shorten this up a little bit, but I had a few different scenarios, and I went ahead and pick this one today because I thought that the first 2 topics was going to be some good conversation. So I was like, this should be quick. But the more and more now I think about it, I'm praying it is not as long. But man, it is a good topic. So I will read you our scenario segment. It is called the unsent text. Scenario is you're scrolling through your phone and you find a text that you wrote years ago to someone who hurt you, but you've never sent it. Reading it brings everything back. Question: do you finally send it? Do you delete it? Or leave it exactly where it is? What I like to get from you guys is Is closure something we give ourselves, or does it sometimes require a conversation with the person who hurt us? And I'm gonna open the floor to Cool Rail with this one first one. You know, so the question first is, do you send it, delete it, or leave it exactly where it is?
Well, there's several factors that would play in that. Where are you at in your life at this point? Meaning, have you moved on? Have you gotten into a relationship with someone else? You know, and you seem to gotten the closure that you needed based on your own, you know, and moved on. And like they say, the best way to get over somebody is being, you know, so with someone else. Yeah. So you may have already gotten that closure because you now found someone else. Or if that person hadn't reached out to you to want to get the closure, and if it's been years down the road, I would just delete it and move on. Because why would I sit there and want to rehab something that clearly that person didn't care enough to want to close out? So if I'm going to sit here and write it and it didn't get sent, and then it's years later, I'm not going to say, all right, man, I never just sent this text to her. At this point, she done moved on. She could care less about it as well herself.
But it said it brought everything back to you. Like it brought you back to that point where and why you wrote the text. So if as you read it and it brought all that back to you, you gonna delete it?
I'm gonna delete it because 9 times out of 10, she's in a different space now at that time. So I'm not gonna get the closure that I really wanted anyway. Because at the time that it happened is when you're gonna get your real answers. Now this person either could care less or this person could be so, you know, emotionally raw about it that she's going to do anything she can to continue to hurt you the way you hurt her. Or she can say, you know what, I'll just tell him what he wants to hear just so he can leave me alone. You know, so you're not going to really get the closure that you're looking for years down the road because that person in a different space, in 9 times out of 10, you're going to probably be in a different space as well.
So before I put again, so the second question is closure something we give ourselves, or does it sometimes require a conversation with the person that hurt us?
Well, it depends at the time, and then it depends on what happened, and who that person was in your life. Like for example, if it's a girlfriend or boyfriend, you can kind of close that yourself. But if it's a parent, you're gonna want to talk to that person. So it depends on who. If it's a family member that's close to you, you're gonna probably want to talk to that person to try to get the closure. Like, why did this happen? Why did you do the things that you did? But if it's a girlfriend or boyfriend, you can do self-closure on your own, you know, because they come and go. But family,
you know, I'm a hear T, man, but you know, my thing is most of the time it is a girlfriend or boyfriend, you know, a situation that happened, you know, a breakup, y'all talking to each other. And again, all those emotions, all that comes right back to you right now, you know, and so like you said, that person could be, you know, in a whole new different situation, whole new everything. But did you get the closure that you needed?
I mean, in most points, you're gonna try to, get the closure then, you know, right then and there. But years down the line, I don't see you really getting the closure that you really needed. Now it could go two ways. This person now, the emotions are no longer raw, and this person can be blunt with you and tell you exactly, bottom line up front, where maybe she could say or he could say, you did this, and that, and I couldn't stand it. So now you could actually learn from that, like, man, I really cared about this person, and I end up running this person off by doing these things. So let me be cognizant of that in the future to being sure I don't do those things, whether it's jealousy, whether it's insecurity. It could be a lot of different things that you could have displayed that caused that person
to show possessiveness and didn't even know it.
Right, didn't even know it. So that person now could say, hey, you know what? I ain't got nothing to lose now. I'm gonna just tell you bottom line up front, this is what you did. And I couldn't tolerate it and I couldn't stand it. Or they could be like, you know what? I really don't even care to talk about that now. So this depends on the person, the time, and the space. That's what it depends on. So a lot of times you may not get the closure that you're looking from that person. So I'm going to say a lot of times you'll need to try to actually close it yourself and then move on. You know, because you can't base closure on what this person tells you. You know, because that person may not ever tell you.
I feel that. Where you at on this, T?
So I would absolutely delete the text. And this is from someone who is a journaler. I have been my whole life. Some people can call it a diary, but I'm a full grown woman, so I say a journal. And there are things that I feel I sometimes need to get off my chest. So I might write a text, but I've learned to not do the text because they don't always deserve to know exactly what I'm thinking. I might just write like a note on my phone to myself. And I will write it to get it off of my chest. And then it literally is just in a folder on my phone. Occasionally, if I'm searching for something, if I come across that and I go, oh, wow, you feel all those feelings. And then I realize, you know what? I actually got this off of my chest. So I'm a firm believer in deleting at that point. Sometimes you have to put it out there and you have to see it and you have to read it to understand your own emotions. And then once you process those emotions, get rid of them. Holding on to it does nothing to help you. You don't want to keep going back and reliving that moment. So if you're still feeling the emotions, to me, deleting that text is like flushing it down the drain. Get rid of it. Why are you holding on to all of that bad baggage?
Man,
And I used to be a person who was, I'm a why person. Why did you do that? Why do you feel the way that you feel? I want to understand your way of thinking so that I know to approach you differently or to do it differently or to kind of understand why you hurt me the way that you did. But one thing that literally just in the past 6 months or so, I've come to realize something dawned on me. And it was just very random. I think my grandmother came to me in a dream. I'm so serious, where it was literally a conversation I was having with her in my head. And she said to me that when I was like, but I just need to know why. And she said, focusing on the why is just a distraction from the what is. You are avoiding what is. You don't need to know why they did what they did. They did it. They made a choice to hurt you. And you need to recognize that that was a choice. And now it's time to move on. And I realized all the like the relationships were going, but why would they do that? I don't understand this. I was good to them. I was literally avoiding that. No, they did this. Stop focusing on why and focus on they did this. And it was literally a go to hell type moment. Stop focusing on why they wanted you to go to hell and understand that they sent you to hell.
right,
And
right.
let it go. It was me holding on to something, trying to figure out why. And then you have all the baggage that goes along with it. I don't need the why. I don't need the closure. So delete the text and let it go. Literally, my latest tattoo was "Let It Go" because it hit me that hard.
That's what's up. That's what. Hey, I'm proud of y'all, but I'm on a different spectrum on that one.
Ethan,
Yeah.
no.
Hold on. First and foremost, I want to start out by saying, if I'm the one you're calling for closure, don't do it. I'm selfish. Fuck you. All right. I'm not doing it. All right. I'm not gonna relive it. All right. I'm sorry. I'm not. All right. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I'm a Pisces, man. I'm sensitive. I need to know what happened. I need to know. I'm sorry. You know, if I'm going through there and I'm reading my text and you know when you're going through it, that takes long as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Delete the long text. They don't care.
did it bring everything to you? So my thing is and Talisha, why I say that is this. If it was a breakup, I'm good. All right. The only thing is I'm not talking about relationships. I'm just really saying, like, if somebody made me the villain, all right, you know, so they said they don't talk to Jason because, you know, and they made me the villain. All right, I'm sorry. I need to know because, you know, I got a good heart. I don't do nothing to nobody. I don't try to hurt nobody. You know, I respect every person. So if someone puts me as the villain, I'm sorry. Again, I'm a Pisces. I wear my heart on my sleeve. You know, I gotta know. I'm gonna call what happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally, you know what I'm saying, as a grown ass man right now. You know what I'm saying? There was a you know, a friend of mine. I don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, you know, somebody says you something, and it's like I'm good. I'm like, okay, and I seen him at the bar. Didn't even talk to me. Didn't even look at me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking like what did I do? All right. So no, I am that person that's gonna find out. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna send that text, and I'm gonna say I wrote this shit 2 years ago, but I need to know. That's me. I gotta know.
Jason,
Because-
beloved, I'm gonna hold your hands when I say this to you. You can't get closure from somebody who can't be honest with themselves. So there's no way in hell they're gonna be honest with you.
I'm honest with myself. You know
No,
what
no,
I'm
no. I'm saying that you're not
Oh,
gonna get the
damn.
closure you're looking for because they can't be honest with themselves, which is why they made you the villain in their story.
That's true.
You're not gonna get closure, love.
No.
Beloved. I say this from in a therapy moment. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about from plenty of therapy. You're not gonna get what you're looking for. Don't send the text. They
Nope.
gonna go, look, this Negro still stuck on it. I got him in his feelings.
Yep.
Let it go.
I'm living
I
rent
won't be the
free
butt of
tomorrow.
your next joke either. Let it go.
There you go.
You know what? You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, this. I guess you are my counselor today. Because I feel that I was about to say, man, I wish your grandma would have talked to me about that shit, you know, a long time ago. But
My granny has been gone for years, but I promise this happened just a few months ago. And I don't even remember if there was a certain situation. I was probably stewing over something stupid because I'm petty and I don't let nothing go. I don't forget anything. There are people I hate from like the third grade Shadeland days. To this day, can't say nothing to me. There's a couple people from high school didn't even do me wrong. You did my sister wrong, but you on my shit list for life because that's just who I am. But I have also come to realize that like this one relationship, it started out so beautiful. This person turned out to be a freaking monster. Not at all. They had a lot of mommy issues. So they punished all the women in their life for their mommy issues that they still won't own to this day. But I was so dead stuck on why. I mean, would send the paragraphs and we live in the same household, but we're not speaking or picking an argument over every little thing. And what I realized is this is an unhealed person. And the more that I heal, the more that I irritate this person because now I'm a mirror and I'm reflecting everything that they're saying and doing, and they can't handle seeing themselves. Because I get to the point where I don't give a damn. Now I'm gonna treat you exactly how you're treating me, and they couldn't handle it. When I tell you I was a master gaslighter and manipulator, y'all would have been proud. I was the best Negro on the block. He couldn't handle that. But I also realized, why am I downgrading myself? I didn't like the energy, I didn't like the spirit, and I packed up and cut out because you're not healed. You're never going to accept the truth and what is, and you keep making up your own alternate reality. I'm never going to get closure, and I'm never going to get a why did you do this? Why is because they treated me how they felt about themselves, and their life is still shit to this day. It wasn't me because I still got the family. Mom Dukes loves me, and I get a call every 6 months from her. But I mean, it's just one of those things where I had to realize, let it go, cut ties, and stop carrying all of that dead weight. And that's exactly what it was. And baby, when I tell you the universe has never been more open and receptive to giving me all of the good things, when I cut a lot of that dead weight, like I have to tell y'all off camera, but yeah, life's good.
My thing though is I think you've cured me. You know what I'm saying? You know, so listen to both of y'all. You know, I think I can. You know what I'm saying?
That's $65 an hour. That's my fee. That's what I had to pay. I don't take insurance. It's cash only around these parts.
I appreciate you for the freebie. You know what I'm saying?
First 15 minutes first.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, for real though, and I'm dead serious on that. Like, nah, I was really that person. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, just listen to you two right now, you know, got me to a point where, you know what, like to your point, you know, if they can't be honest with themselves, they definitely can't be honest with me. You know,
Exactly.
you know, it'll be a waste of my time. It'll be a waste of my time, and they'll continue I'll continue paying their rent in my head for quite some time. So no,
Your efforts are better served focusing on you.
I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, the one thing you always hear from me, man. I'm always be honest. And now, you know what? I appreciate the advice, and I tell you now, the closure that I needed for the thing that I was actually thinking about, I'm good now. So I appreciate that. All right, see,
Put them out in your head and call it a day.
and that one didn't take too long. See, you know what I'm saying? So y'all done cured me in less than 15 minutes. I appreciate that. All right. So before we move on to the end of the show, anything that you guys want to say before we wrap it up? Because man, I think we're good on that one because both of you were like, no, I don't need it. And I was like, I need it. And now you have converted me to not needing it. So
That's what's up.
I'm listening from the bottom of my heart. I truly do appreciate that because, you know, there are, as I stated, you know what I'm saying? I wear my heart on my sleeve, you know, and, you know, I feel like, you know, I try to treat everybody, you know what I'm saying, right. And when people try to make me the villain, you know, I do get upset about it. I do take it personal. And you know what? You just saying that one phrase just helped me out a bit. So I truly appreciate it. So with that being said, anything you want to say, T, before we bounce?
Ladies, gentlemen, jump in the comments and tell us if we missed anything on the dating with daddy issues. As a single woman, I can own that I have worked my way through plenty, but there are still things that come up day to day. Tell me if I missed anything. Tell me about raising your kids and how that has affected you not having a father or father figure in your life. Gentlemen, if you a big brother, a uncle, a big cousin, jump in and tell us how you were taking on this mantle, I'm going to call it, of being that father figure for someone in or adjacent to your life.
All right.
Cool. Piggyback off of that. She's did that as far as the daddy issues. I'm going to say as far as our first topic, you know, for your ladies that played hard to get, how did that work out for you? You know, are you with the guy that you really wanted by playing hard to get, or did you miss out on that opportunity on playing hard to get? Or was you listening to Steve Harvey with the 90-day rule? And that 90-day rule will have you single, alone, and by yourself. So hopefully y'all are no longer listening to that Steve Harvey mess. Because
got him and I didn't approach him first. Actually, I got both of them and I didn't approach neither one of them first. So
okay, well you
don't listen to J Rock, listen to me.
You had that special mojo, but again, I really want to know those that say, "Hey, I played hard to get it," and maybe you had a success story that Talisha had, maybe you didn't. So share those comments with us and let us know. You know, if you had it all to do over again, would you do it the exact same way, or would you do it differently, or would you tell your son or daughter to you see something you want, go for it, or would they sit back and if a person notice you, let them be the first one to approach? So I look forward to looking forward to seeing the comments on that. I really do.
Clarify you're hard to get because Rail got me together. The approaching to me was that I can say hello. I'm good with what he suggested. But initially when you said it, I was on some, oh, I'm not running up to you and telling you how fine you are. Absolutely not. But that wasn't even what you were saying.
Right.
So I'm good with it. You look nice. That suit's real fitted. That's a good color on you. That I can do. But rolling up on you and licking your lips like Jason do, absolutely not.
No, I don't expect for no woman to do that. But you know, we were talking a little bit of flirting. That's all we was talking about as far as that goes. Yeah.
Hey, but
you set me straight. I duly noted.
Yeah, don't listen to Talisha. Always listen to J Rock. I always listen to Rock. And again, you know, Talisha, you know that you may be an anomaly. On certain things. I say that.
How do you feel about being an anomaly?
You may be an anomaly, you know. But I will say, you know, to all the topics, man. Hey, please, you know, if we hit one of your strings, make sure that you write in those comments. Let us know how you're feeling. You know, as Rail said, you know, from the standpoint of playing hard to get. Hey, have you played hard to get, and is it working out for you in 2026? All right, and then you know, daddy issues. Hey, if you had daddy issues, if you dated someone with daddy issues, hey, let us know in the comments. All right, and then let us know if you would have read that text. I mean, you heard me. I was very vulnerable on here, and yes, I would have read it. I would have sent it, but after the counseling that I received today, I would change my mind. So let us know in the comments.
With that though, with that third topic, there's something that's very important. If you can't be in the present and in the future if you're still looking back in the past. So the past is the past, the present is a gift, and the future is bright. So definitely, if there's something that was back there in the past, leave it where it was at and move forward and learn from it and make a great future as well as a great president.
All right. With that being said, man, we'll go to our final quote of the day and get you guys out of here, man. So the quote I'm be using today is, "You may not get to rewrite yesterday, but every sunrise gives you another blank page. What you write on it is up to you." And with that being said, man, we spent so much time wishing we could go back, just as we was just talking about, to say something different, to love someone better, make a different decision, or even take an opportunity we were too afraid to take. But the truth is, yesterday doesn't need our permission to remain yesterday. What we do have is today. Every 24 hours, life hands us another blank slate. Not because what happened before doesn't matter, but because it doesn't have to determine what happens next. Your mistakes can become wisdom. Your heartbreak can become strength. Your disappointments can become direction. And sometimes the person you become after everything you've seen through is far more powerful than the person you were before it happened. So as we close out today, don't obsess over the pages you've already written. Turn the page. Tomorrow isn't asking for you to be perfect. It's simply asking you to show up and decide what you're going to do with the blank space. This is our blank slate. And tomorrow, we get another chance at it. You guys have a great night. We'll see you next week.